Our SIP is our Superior Investment Platform. And before we set into it, I was having a look through some documentation there earlier on today, and I came across some very alarming numbers. And these are some of the myths that are out there when it comes to managing our money. And this is according to the Boston Center for Retirement Research. The myth that's frequently propagated is that most people will have enough resources to meet their needs when they retire. In fact, the research shows that more than 45% of households in the USA are at risk of failing to meet this objective. The next myth that they addressed was that younger workers are better prepared for retirement, or will be better prepared for retirement, than the baby boomers. In fact, the reality is that the younger workers are more vulnerable, with nearly 50% of households at risk. Social Security, people think, will still replace about 42% of an average worker's earnings. In fact, the reality is that net Social Security replacement rates will drop to 30% by 2030. Many people believe that 401ks have allowed workers to save significant amounts for their retirement. In fact, the typical household in 2004 had only $60,000 saved in their 401k, which equates to about $400 a month in retirement income. The thought is that if we save as much as our parents saved, we'll be good for retirement, and unfortunately, that's also not true. Current workers must save more because of the demise of traditional pensions, rising longevity, soaring healthcare costs, and falling asset returns. Many people are going to rely on their house. They're going to take equity out of their house when they retire. In fact, the truth of the matter is that when you retire, you're still going to want to live somewhere, and you're going to have access to vastly less of that equity than you believe. In fact, they reckon that you will only have access to about 45% of that equity. Now, I don't know about you, but I've certainly discovered over the last couple of years that many of the traditional investment opportunities and traditional investment advisors that I put my trust in have certainly proved somewhat lacking, to put it mildly. And I guess the bottom line is that nobody cares about your money as much as you do. Nobody is as engaged in making your money work for you as you are. So if you had access to an investment that was a combination of various assets, and the first of those assets doubles in value on average worldwide every 10 years. The second asset in that investment outperformed inflation by 3.3% on average per year for the last 100 years. That same asset, the second asset, the UN estimates that demand is going to increase by 60% for that asset over the next 25 years. The third asset in this combination investment has a built-in 100% increase in value over the next year. That same asset has historically shown returns of over 20% per annum. And the fourth asset is a very interesting portion of this investment. It had no value 5 years ago, none whatsoever. In 2007, part of this asset class was traded for $40.4 billion during 2007. So what's that part of this investment going to be worth? Well, the bottom line is, I don't know. It could, in the end, be the most valuable part of this investment. So really, what we're talking about here is a combination investment that is a real asset. It's in your name. It's guaranteed by Chicago